So I struggle with crazy depression. And this isn't a video for you to be like, boo-hoo, for me, woe is me, that kind of a thing. I'm only sharing this information because I think if it can help anybody, that'd be wonderful. But I just want to preface this. I am not giving medical advice, nor am I qualified. I'm not telling you to do anything with this information. It's just merely me stating my situation and how I deal with it and what my choices moving forward are going to be. So with that said, I have depression. This isn't self-diagnosed. This is through a psychologist. I have moderate to severe depression, and I was prescribed medication. And my stance on that is I'm not going to take it. I asked my doctor, what is the probability that I can heal myself if I put myself in the right situation and the right circumstances? Is this something I can beat? He said the probability of that is probably only 20%. That's really low. And, it's a huge sort of endorsement to take the medication. But something I want to say is, what I do for a living is I make art, right? And essentially what SSRIs or other depression medication, what they do is it permeates to the blood-brain barrier and it messes with the receptors, right? So essentially it limits the spectrum of emotion that you have. One of the issues sometimes when you have depression is that you have really high highs, that you get excited and you get amped, but then the lows are really bad, right? So for me, I think, for better or worse, experience the full range helps me really stay inspired and be able to really feel and have empathy for a lot of the things that I write and I create. So at the end of the day, I was like, I don't know if I necessarily want a medication to hamper that. It'll probably be better if I was working in a business atmosphere, like in an office or somewhere where I have to be really level-headed. But I'm an artist. And it's also really crazy because the other side thing I want to talk about is when I was an actor for the longest time, my foundational acting technique is Meisner. What we're taught to do is it's a very reactive technique. So the first year of Meisner, a lot of what you're doing is you're doing these repetition exercises. So someone says, I like your shirt. You like my shirt? I like your shirt. And you take that and you go, oh, you take the signaling and you react off of it. It makes you a very honest actor. And I think it's a wonderful technique, and I'm glad it was my foundation, but I've spent the last 10 years trying to unlearn it in my regular life, because being reactive is incredibly detrimental for relationships and not good for your daily living. So, with that said, I think I struggle with this every day. Depression is an incredible, debilitating sickness, and I used to think when it wasn't happening to me that, why can't you just work harder? Why can't you just figure it out? And I don't think it's that simple. But before I take the medication, what I do want to do is I want to try to do everything I can to be healthy, get exercise, sleep at the right time, eat the right foods, so I could start from that baseline and see how I feel from there before I just try to medicate it away. And again, this isn't advice for anybody else. I'm not telling you to do what I do. This is just what I'm going to do and what works for me. Ultimately, this journey is a hard one. Anyone who says that life is easy is tripping. Life is incredibly complicated. Everybody has problems. If they say they don't have problems, they're lying to you. Even if they're small problems, everybody has problems. So at the end of the day, I battle with this depression every day. It's something that I really haven't talked about much, and I try to, deal with it on my own, be a man about it. But the reality is, I know a lot of people deal with this, and I'm just trying to be an artist and make meaningful work, and that's why I'm here. You know, as I go through my process of making my films, and I want to share my journey while I do that, and talk about the films I'm trying to get made, the failures I deal with, the lessons that I'm learning. That's what this is for. And ultimately, I want to share this stuff with you, and I just want you to know that if you're dealing with depression or anxiety or anything really difficult, I am absolutely in it with you. Just know that there are other people in the world that are also going through the same thing, and I certainly have immense trouble with this stuff too. So just know that like you're not alone, and this is why I'm sharing this experience. You know, I just don't want people feeling that like life is hopeless. It might feel like it's hopeless, but you know, and trust me, I got 2 kids and a wife, and I have had some success in my career, and I still feel hopeless. Now, is that reality? I don't know. To a lot of people that watch this might not think so. But to my personal experience and what I'm dealing with in the moment to moment, it sure feels like it. So I couldn't imagine somebody else who is going through a really tough time. So I sympathize for you, and I empathize for you. Ultimately, we're all in this together, this experiment of life. Our human condition is resilient, and I'm doing this stuff so we can have a discussion and commiserate on how tough things are. You know, and I'm just trying to make my art and share it with the world. That's my purpose. But I hope this helps you, and I hope this reaches the right person, and you know, I just want you to know that I'm right there with you too, and I'm dealing with it. So I love you guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.